Welcome to the first in our new series, the MOTF Environmental Unit, about the environment, in fact. And in this first episode, we're going to show you, in graphic terms, all about the oxygen balance.
A child lies crying, dying, in a bruised earth. What is that child's life worth? The cost of his health, more than material wealth. What price do we pay?
So, what is the oxygen balance? Or, to put it more concisely, the exchange of gases, balance of gases, whichever way you want to put it. Well, basically, it boils down in simple terms to the fact that plants give out oxygen, they take in carbon dioxide, whereas humans and animals breathe in oxygen and they exhale carbon dioxide. So people and animals actually keep the trees and plants alive, and they in turn keep us alive by supplying us with oxygen. Now that's a basic thing you've probably learned at school, but put it in more graphic terms. If we take two people here and put them with one oak tree, the balance is perfect because those two people breathe out enough carbon dioxide to keep that one full-grown oak tree alive. The oak tree then breathes out oxygen, which keeps the two people alive. So, in actual fact, forget the Earth's atmosphere. If you put a tree and two human beings under a glass dome, so that it was sealed from the Earth's atmosphere, in effect, they would keep each other alive. Obviously, the people would have to eat and everything, but in theory, the two people and the oak tree would be able to survive forever almost in this glass dome. Now, what if those people owned a small car? So here's the small car, and we take the people away, the oak tree, the dome, and here's the small car, and it's running. Now, a car, when it's running, also, like the humans, breathe in oxygen. The only difference is that that small car, while it's running, doesn't take the oxygen from one oak tree. It takes the oxygen from 150 oak trees. So it would need 150 oak trees emitting oxygen to keep that car running. Now the car itself does emit a small amount, and I mean small amount, of carbon dioxide, which in theory should keep those trees alive. The problem is that it also emits carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide and nitrous oxides, which in fact is lethal to the trees. So if you put that one small car, well, here it is, and there's the 150 oak trees, if you put a glass dome over them, within a while the trees would all die. Now, just for the sake of this little illustration here, let us now put the car there. Now we put the two people with the car, and we put them in, put the glass dome over the two of them. Well, within 10 minutes, those two people, sadly, would be dead. Because not only the carbon monoxide, which would kill them, but on top of that, sulfur dioxide, coming from that car, would also burn into their lungs because it's sulfur, and nitrous oxides also burn into the lungs. So, to recap, here's the what was he. He's going to show you as we come along. Already, what was he? Right, here we go. Now, the oxygen is breathed by humans and animals. Okay? Carbon dioxide breathed by plants. Carbon monoxide is lethal to both. Sulfur dioxide is lethal to both. Nitrous oxide is lethal to both. So the trees and the humans would all die if they were all put in that glass dome. Thank you, what was he? But the thing is that if that people might say, and I've heard people say it actually, yeah, but you've got all these things, all this pollution going on in the earth. But if you were in a small enclosed place, like as I've just said, in that glass dome or garage or something like that, of course they're going to get poisoned. But this is the open air. Here we are, right? Well, let's take a look at the Earth. There it is, the Earth out in space there. And you see that little thin blue line. No, it's not the police, no. The thin blue line around the planet is our atmosphere. Okay, now you might say, yeah, well, that oxygen's just going to blow around. So we produce some, say, here in perhaps London, if you like, or New York or Paris, wherever you happen to live. And that will then drift around and people say, well, it'll dissipate. No, it won't, actually. And I'll tell you why. Because the Earth is like that giant glass dome. The atmosphere has a roof to it. All that pollution that's going into the atmosphere isn't going anywhere. That pollution, all the different gases that are on the Earth, are bouncing around, building up in that whole thing, and eventually it will kill all forms of life on Earth. There's no doubt about that. It might take thousands of years, it might take hundreds of years. Nobody really knows. But we do know that the effects are happening already, because more people are getting asthma and they're getting other breathing difficulties, and animals are becoming extinct because their environment's changing, and the carbon dioxide, which a plethora of carbon dioxide out there because there's more of that being breathed, heats the atmosphere up and causes global warming. So there you are. I hope that this will give you a good illustration of what it's about. So there you go. Now you know exactly what the balance of gases is all about. Thank you very much. Hope you've learned something today.
Crying for the children. So there you go. There you have it. That's the first part of our Easy to Learn series on the environment and other related subjects. So there'll be another one along shortly. In the meantime, if you want to know more about the environment, these are my two books, This Garden Earth and Vandals in the Garden, which you can purchase from us by going to this email address. Just drop us a line and we'll, or pop in anyway. Either way, drop us an email and we'll go from there. Okay? We'll see you in the next one. Bye.